Right here in this box is a delivery of a Beatles blue box.
Ta-da!
Late 70s, UK edition. And we got it at a really good price. Let's hope that everything's okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the first good sign is a whole bunch of peanuts.
Yay! Peanuts are good.
As you can see here, the four corners here of it have these supports here that they've created here. So they've done a good job of packing this. Okay, at this point it's ready to slide out here. There we go. Here is the blue box. Get some of those peanuts off of it.
Doesn't look very blue right now.
Yeah, no, well, it's wrapped in paper here.
Okay.
We're gonna have to take off this stuff gently. I don't want to be too rough here. I know this is very fragile here. And let me take care of that right now. There.
Well, now I think you can.
That was easier than I thought. Okay, we're in more familiar surroundings now. And here it is, still wrapped up. We'll open this up here. It's interesting to note how small and thin it is
compared to the other.
To like the Beatles in mono box set, the Stones in mono box set, which is like, you know, they're like about like this big, and, you know, and they're heavy. And this is very small.
Petite.
By comparison. And just be kind of careful because we don't want to get tape on the box itself. Here we go. The Beatles Collection.
A little bit of wear on the back there.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they were very clear in their advertising of it. I got this on eBay. And yeah, they were very clear about the condition of everything. And so none of this is a surprise. And let's see now, how did this open here?
Pull the,
Does it just lift up from, oh, this is how it goes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it
goes like this.
The flap.
Yeah.
And then the flap.
Okay. And of course, now the first album I see here is the White Album, and they did show that there were age spots on the inside and age spots on the White Album. They did definitely show that. And I do see that here. And, sorry, little guy. In fact, let's go ahead and just, let's just have you sit there for a bit. Here's the White Album. And at the end of the day, I'm more concerned with the condition of the records themselves than, you know. And the White Album was the worst looking of them.
Yeah,
in their
and it doesn't look that bad.
No. I don't like leaving this sitting like this, but oh well. I guess for the moment here. Hey, you know what? Maybe a little guy here can help. There you go. Yeah, you can give it some support.
Hey.
But here's the White Album here again.
He's so helpful.
And you can see the embossing there. Open it up here. I know this comes with the posters and everything. And let's take a look. Whew. Yeah, we've got these paper sleeves.
We'll be changing those out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's just take a look at one of them at least here. And, yeah. I mean, there's some dust on them here, but otherwise, they look fine. Yeah, I don't see any like, yeah. I see dust, I see hair.
Ew.
Little bits of hair, yeah.
That's
I can
gross.
DNA clone somebody with this. And
I don't know that we want to do that.
these are the sleeves here.
You never know who you're going to get.
So this tells me, this is EMI, made in Great Britain, telling me how to take care of my records. Very good. Yeah, I've noticed that British, when I looked at the British releases, vintage British releases, the inner sleeves and stuff would give you information on how to take care of your records. I never remember seeing that with American
Well, of
records.
course not, because we're greedy and we want The record companies here want you to buy it over and over again.
Oh, is that it?
So if you
Here's
damage
the photos. And let's take a quick look here. Let's see here. We got George, we got Paul, we got Ringo. Didn't see John. Let's see here. Oh, here's the poster. Poster's in here. Let's take this record out again here. Oh, there is John. There's John. Yeah, I remember all the inserts being there in their advertisement of it here. And yeah, okay. So yeah, those are the photos. I almost wasn't going to bother to show them. Their advertisement, you know, their listing showed that it was there. And I want to be very careful of my elbow here, that it doesn't hit this thing. I know that the packaging on these is a lot more fragile. Here's the poster. And yeah, I'm not going to unfold it here, but you get the idea. There we go. Okay.
You probably put the pictures on the side with the poster.
Well, there's a
No?
record on each side,
Okay.
and they're made to go on each side. Otherwise, it gets a little too cluttered in one pocket.
Gotcha.
But there's the White Album right there. And let's see here. Yeah, these are clearly not in any order, but we'll start pulling them out here carefully. I noticed they're like loaded this way. I think they're supposed to be loaded this way.
They are.
Yeah.
That's how it came when I had mine.
With the Beatles. Now, of course, we bought a version of this. It was sold used on eBay from a UK set, which is what led us to wanting to get the whole thing. And again, there's that sleeve again. I'll take a quick look at this one. I'm telling myself I'm not going to look at every single one. I suppose if any of these could have a problem, it would be this one, because we've already got a replacement copy. Yeah. I don't know if this is... It's just dust. But I don't know if this is hair or...
Might be pet hair.
But I mean, I just don't understand how pet hair could get there unless you're letting the dog play with it.
If there's animal hair in the house, or if
It just gets everywhere?
if the person handling it
Is handling the pet, then yeah, it's going to get there, I guess, yeah.
It
I guess
can
that's
get there.
possible, yeah. I see some surface marks on this one here, but they look surface. They don't look like they're going to be any problem, to be honest.
and of any of the albums, that would be the one that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. But here we go. There. Guide that back in gently. There we go. Okay. Next we have rarities. Yeah, they're all loaded in this way. Kind of odd. We got somewhere on the cover here. I'll take a look at this one here. Dirt and dust. Not so much of the hair, or maybe it's lint. I don't know. Possibly. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Like I said, I will clean these. Give them a good cleaning.
It's going to go away, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And the box is going to be put away. The records will be given new inner sleeves. They'll be given nice outer sleeves. And then, of course, they will be with the other records available for use. But so far, these covers look really nice. This one looks probably the best so far, which means they've probably handled it and played it the least. Yellow Figures would be Yellow Submarine. I did a video a while back on what I thought they could do with Yellow Submarine if they were going to include it with their remix box set series, which they've abandoned now for the last 3 years, so who knows. But I actually had an idea of what they could do for Yellow Submarine. You might want to give that one a watch. I had some ideas as to what they could do with this, but I had thought they could expand it to include George Martin's entire score. Remix, of course, the 4 original songs that are on it.
Maybe let Giles Martin do his magic.
I don't know if did I say Giles Martin or George Martin's score?
George Martin's
Okay, I want to
score.
make sure I didn't say the name wrong. But yeah, George Martin's score, I don't know if it needs remixing so much as just the entire score and remastered.
Okay.
But the entire score. I also suggested other ideas too. I mean, there's other ideas I had for it. Along with, of course, remixing the 4 original songs, include their original stereo and mono mixes in the same package. Yes, we've already gotten those, but just part of the package. And include, I said, the Beatles song track, which was the other version of the Yellow Submarine soundtrack, where they've got all the songs that were actually used in the film, that were all remixed. I forget the name of the person who did it, but they did a great job. But I said, let them finish what they did with Songtrack and remix A Day in the Life, which is the one track that they didn't include in the song track and didn't have remixed. Let that person continue it, is what I said. There were other things too, but you know, you can check out that video. Oh, and did we?
And you'll link.
Yeah, yes, I will link here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, just as I suspected, very clean. They didn't play this one as much. Very clean. Okay. Now, in their listing, they showed the box, they showed the outside of all the covers, they showed the backs of all the covers. They didn't show any of the LPs, so I asked them, how do the LPs look? They said they look like they've never been played.
Obviously, that's not completely true. If there's animal
No, that's not
hair.
completely true, but they do, aside from dirt, aside from dust, you know, and what might be either hair or lint, they look fine, actually. Please, please me. This one's looking very good, in my opinion. Yeah.
And this, you said, came from like a thrift store?
That's what they're, well, it said some, I forget the name of it, but they did say they were a thrift store. But I mean, apparently they do a lot of eBay business. Obviously they know how to pack stuff and pack it well. Let's take a look at this one here. Very clean. Little bit of dust here. Some smudges, fingerprint smudges. Not too bad, actually. Yeah, looks really good. I don't expect to encounter any real trouble with any of these, to be honest. And of course, yeah, even though, like I said, these covers are much thinner.
Yeah.
There is like a, yeah, these are looking pretty nice here. Let's see, we got A Hard Day's Night
I
next.
think they figured that it was protected by a box. So they did cut corners a little bit
Yeah.
on the...
And there we go. Hard Day's Night. Yeah, these are looking pretty darn good. And yeah, this one's extremely clean. I can tell they didn't play this one very much. Of course, I'm kind of expecting, like the White Album, probably played a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the later Beatles stuff to be more played. People tend to gravitate towards the later end Beatles, the mid to later Beatles, than the early Beatles as far as what they play. I've noticed a lot of fans are that way. I can understand why. It's when they really started to expand and just like write just mind-blowing songs. But I think there's a lot to be appreciated and treasured by the early stuff. And someday I should make a video about that. This is Beatles for Sale. And yeah, this is in good shape. Yeah. And of course, then there's this very difficult way that you get to the album here. I'm going to leave this one be for right now. I'm not going to pull this one out. I get the, looking at this cover, I think they probably barely touched this one too. And it's an earlier Beatles period. Let's see, Let It Be. Okay. Let's take a look here. Looks to be in pretty good shape. And pull the record out here. Now, oddly enough, now this is just a straight up paper sleeve. It's funny how some of them have the hole, but then they also have the inner...
The polyvinyl?
Yeah, yeah. Now here, we don't have... It's, you know, there's not a lot of dust on it. There's just all this sort of like either hair or lint on it.
It's probably pet hair.
Yeah. I'll put the sleeves in there too. Help. Here we go. And
Now, are you going to get the blank covers and...
no, I'm going to keep these in their covers, but I mean, I will put them in a nice sleeve. I will put the records behind it, so that when I pull out the record to play it, I'm just going at the record. The sleeve will just stay here. There will be times when I will want to pull it out and look at it, but mostly it will just stay. Yeah, now this one has the polyvinyl inner. That's wild. That it seems to be just the earlier ones have this polyvinyl inner. This one looks pretty clean too. We still have little bits of what I would call, tiny bits of what I would call hair or lint. But otherwise, very clean. You know, a few swipes with a carbon fiber brush on this one and it's going to be clean.
Oh, good.
Let's help. And here comes Sgt. Pepper.
This is the tried and true test of all.
Yeah, this is where we see just how well these were taken care of. Because oftentimes, now here, it's funny how this feels. I can feel that a lot of hands touched this. I can feel that. That might be gross. I'll wash my hands afterwards.
Yeah, you don't know what those lot of hands were doing.
Yeah. And here is the record. Yeah, just the straight paper sleeve on these later ones. I can feel the interior, the coarser interior. That's crazy that they did it that way. But here, let's look at the record here. Very clean again, except for the dust, a little bit of dust, and again some of the lint, hair, that type of thing. I wonder. Now I'm looking at it, pointing it into a different light here to see. There's a light over here that I can see much clearer with how it is. I'm trying to remember if the inserts were in Sgt. Pepper in their ad. And like I said, I don't mind if those types of things are missing. That wasn't part of my evaluation as to whether or not I would buy it.
You have them on other...
Oh, yeah. It's like I don't need... Oh, yeah, it's the inserts right here. I see it. Yeah. There it is. I'm just going to do that. Yeah. No psychedelic sleeves, of course. That would, those were in the original version, the original pressings, and then were revived for the anniversary remix reissue. Those were revived and put back in. Sgt. Pepper looks pretty darn good. I was expecting, so far the White Album has the most, shows the most,
Wear.
Not even know about wear, just dust and dirt and that sort of thing. A little bit of an age spot here on Revolver. Here. But otherwise, it looks pretty darn good here on the outside.
And that's probably because they're white covers as well.
Yeah, the white covers are going to show that more, I think. Yeah, especially. And here we go. I was thinking I wasn't going to pull all these out, but I guess that's what I'm doing now. Yeah, dust. Mostly just dust. Yeah. Only a tiny bit of what I would call the lint and or hair.
Ew.
I'll write a song called Hairy Records. Hairy records in my room. I will clean them with a broom. I'll wash them with soap and water. I will loan them to my friend Otter. There we go. That's a song I just wrote. It's a classic. Here we go. And Rubber Soul. Looking good. Yeah. There we go. Again, the coarser paper sleeve here. We got a seam split on the bottom of this sleeve, but that's okay. Let's try to get this one to come out. I'm gonna have to pinch it. I try not to do that. Yeah. I think this is lint is what it is.
Okay.
I'm going to tell myself that anyways. Yeah, just a lot of lint and dust.
Well, better pet hair than human hair.
Uh-huh. Why is that?
It's probably not as cleanly, but
Uh-huh.
pet hair,
Yes.
is
Why is pet
not
hair?
as gross as human hair.
How do you say that? Why do you say that?
It just isn't.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that scientific explanation.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
Okay, yeah.
I would much prefer having somebody's pet's hair
Well, either way,
than human's hair.
you know, once I clean these up and get all that off, I'm going to put it in a jar. I'm going to take it to the laboratory. We like to use the word laboratory, you know. And I'm going to see what I can clone off of
Late
it.
one night?
Yes, late one night, and I'm going to see what I can clone off
Will
of.
it be a dark and
of the
stormy
hair.
night?
It might, you know. And finally, it looks like we have Abbey Road. This is the last one. There we
We've
go.
been there.
Yes, we have. We have been there. We went to England. We saw Abbey Road Studios.
We went into Abbey Road Studios.
No, we went into the gift shop.
That counts.
They let us in the gift shop. They didn't let us in the studio. And look, they were unloading stuff for like some kind of a session out front.
Yeah, it was the London Symphony.
Oh, okay. Here it is. Now this one has the poly-lined one.
We'll put a picture in.
Yeah.
I think we have some.
Yeah. This is actually pretty darn clean. It's got dust on it, but not a lot. Yeah, this is pretty darn clean.
Good.
A little bit of dust and lint. I'm convinced it's lint and not real actual hair.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see what we get when we clone it.
Okay. There we go. Wait. Yeah, that's right. I was almost going to say, wait, where's Magical Mystery Tour? Magical Mystery Tour was never included in this set. It wasn't officially canon at that point. Magical Mystery Tour was a US release, and this was the British catalog as it was known back then. And Magical Mystery Tour was a capital album, and it was an EP in England. And they did release a blue box along these lines of the Beatles EPs, which included Magical Mystery Tour. And again, yeah, this is of course all analog, and right now, this is the best way to get an analog pressing of the original stereo mixes. And we were so pleased with that copy of With the Beatles and how alive it sounded.
Yeah.
How fresh, you know, just like, wow, it sounded really good. That we decided, yeah, we're getting one of these blue boxes. And,
I'm still annoyed that I let you convince me to sell mine.
you know, woman, someday you're just going to have to let that go. You know, we were in a different place then. We never thought we'd ever own a turntable again. Neither of us owned a turntable. We thought it was going to be nothing but CDs moving forward. We still have CDs. We still like CDs. We still collect them. We stream now too. But we have rediscovered the pleasure of vinyl. And yeah, I know. But also you had a US box, which I understand don't sound as good as the UK ones.
I thought mine was a UK box.
Yeah, as far as I understood, yours was a US box, but who knows? It's like I said, it's all long gone. Let me just close this box up here now. There we go. Kind of funky how this is designed. And yeah.
Well, it kind of looks like the old,
All in all, I'd say pretty good shape, especially,
it looks like the old-fashioned record cases that you had back in the day.
I guess so.
And I think that's what it was trying to emulate.
Yeah. But
Because
amazing.
there's no reason for having the little studs on the side, like the
Yeah,
brass tacks.
Amazing though for such a, you know, to have it fitting inside of such a tiny little box that takes up so little room. You know, versus, like I said, the Beatles in mono box or even the Beatles in stereo box. Of course, those had the big hardcover books too.
Yeah.
That certainly added to it. It's been a few days now since we unboxed the set.
Yep.
And I have gone through more than half of the LPs. Just cleaning them, playing them. I am ripping them
We're
to
not
digital.
doing any DNA tests on any of the random
Not yet,
hairpins.
anyways. That's still on the table.
Okay.
Possibly. We'll see. But we have been. I've been playing them. I've been listening to them. So far, really no problems. After I've cleaned them, they've played really well, sounded great. One thing that I have decided to do is to take up Superfan's advice to me to instead put them in a blank record jacket. We'll write on what the album title is and everything. After I put them in a anti-static sleeve, to put them in these blank jackets here, and keep their original jackets in this box, and the box is just going to be put away. And I decided that was a good idea because she kept stressing the resale value, to preserve them as much as possible because they are fragile.
They're not as heavy as a standard.
No, not even a standard jacket. No, they're really not. In fact, these are heavier in many cases than some of them. They're that thin.
They're very lightweight.
Yeah.
Cardboard.
Also,
Poster board sleeves.
You had mentioned that my original plan was to take the original sleeves, put them in which I always do, I put them in a protective outer sleeve. Mm-hmm. And I was going to put the record behind it, which I do with a lot of my vintage records for easy access, and so that I'm not manhandling 40, 50-year-old sleeves all the time just to get the record out. I can pull them out when I want to look at them, but mostly I just want to get the record out. It's easier, it's less wear and tear on the actual original jackets, but because these records, some of them are quite thin.
Yeah, the vinyl.
The vinyl is quite thin, especially compared to today's standards. And so they're a little bit more protected inside of a sturdy jacket like this.
Yeah.
So I will be doing that and moving forward. And so I am going to take your advice on that. At first didn't think it was that big a deal, but now I hear what you're saying about just preserving the resale value of it. Guaranteed, now that I have done this, Apple will now finally release all analog stereo pressings, a box set, which fans have been saying. You did it for the mono set. The stereo LP set of the 2009 remasters was all from digital files, whereas the mono wasn't. And so that's why, the only way to get all analog, the original stereo mixes is this set here. And even then it's not complete. It doesn't include Magical Mystery Tour. Correction, the blue box is not the only way to get all analog pressings of the original stereo mixes, but it has been recognized by a lot of very notable YouTube channels as probably one of the easier and more affordable ways to obtain them. Relax, keyboard warriors. There will be a greater battle for you another day. But this is as close as you can get. And again, we were so turned on by that one release with the Beatles that we had purchased previously, taken out of one of these sets that someone sold separately. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. But that's it. That's our unboxing of a UK set here. Got it at a great price. They had buy it now, so I went for it. Very happy. I don't anticipate any problems with the other LPs, but I'm still working my way through them. As always, if you like these videos, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a video. A big thank you to the Patreon supporters. Patreon supporters do get exclusive videos not available on this channel.
You are fierce and mighty.
Indeed. If you'd like to be a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/TJR the original. And just thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this. Tell me about your blue box set if you have one, or if you'd like to get one. Please talk about it in the comments and all that. And we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. No, Grogu, they didn't really all sign every single box. They didn't even sign that one, you silly.
He's pretty naive.